All right, shall we try that again? These technical issues seem to follow me wherever I go. Whatever. Same settings as last night, and it worked great. Settings tonight kicked me out, so the screen rate was too high, so I had to reset this whole thing. All right, let me share this. What's going on, folks? All right. Hopefully we're good. I started before, got kicked back out, had to set up a new, I don't know, new page for the encoder and reset the whole thing. So we're starting. We're about an hour late at this point. I apologize for that. Exciting night for the daughter. Little League All Stars and all that stuff. Went extra innings, ran late. Just got home a little while ago and getting all set up now. Hope everybody's having a good night. I'm still setting up here. Got some more additions to the list, some pretty fun ones that I'm jotting down right now. As you come in, feel free to pipe in and chat. All right. Sorry about that. Really excited. I got a Tim the Enchanter request from Monty Python, which is favorite of mine. So just writing down these new additions to the list. Going to be doing a bunch of these tomorrow. Also got a Magneto. Brandon's being a smartass on Twitter, so maybe I don't draw his tonight. Rockabilly Joker and Shield characters. Nice. Anyway. Rockabilly Joker will be fun. For my guy Byron, I did a Rockabilly Riddler for him last year. I don't even know if it was last year. Maybe it was the end of last year, beginning of this year. Hang on with me for one more second, and then I'll get the drawing going. I just want to get all this list straightened out. Put on some terrible music for you to listen to while I do this. It is Tim the Enchanter, Kyle. How you doing tonight, Kyle? Just jotting down a few pieces that we added to the list just today. World War II cap, always fun. Godzilla. Lead Dent from Tokyo Ghost. That one's definitely not going to be tonight, but possibly tomorrow if Tobin, you're on and listening. Voltron. The Shield. Oh, Keith, perfect. Got an Iron Fist. I've been doing a lot of Iron Fist lately, no doubt. Because of the new series. Perfect. All right, all caught up on the list. Kyle, it's a good thing that you're live and not 10 minutes behind. All right. So I think we talked about a Storm tonight. I think we talked about a King Ghidorah for Brandon. Spider-Man, Silver Surfer for Sam. Kyle, you're gonna have to let me know if the feed gets a little wonky. It was kicking me out earlier. Said there was the bitrate was too high for some reason. Mohawk Storm is one of those characters that, I don't know, is really iconic. It is instantly recognizable. Yet still somehow she's like a secondary character. Volume is low. Or that might be the music too loud too. Turn that down a little. So Kyle, you said you're not working on anything at the moment, or you're not working on anything cool at the moment? Oh, that's awesome. Congratulations. Or maybe I should hold off on congratulations, not to jinx it. Do I take requests? Thanks, Vic. Not really requests. All the sketches I'm doing here are commissions. If you want one, they're only $25, and you can head over to my Store Envy page. Alright, so the feed looks like it's buffering at the moment. Alright, cool. Yeah, it's actually I'm looking at it on the kind of watch me page, and it's just completely frozen. So I didn't know if you guys were seeing that too. like that whole area right there. So what's everybody up to tonight, besides watching me draw pictures? Made Storm look like a dude. I will be at some cons this summer. Going to be at Boston Comic Con with Chris and Chrissy. That's in... when is that? I think that's the first weekend in August. And then, or maybe it's the second weekend in August this year. And then the three of us are also going to be in Palm Springs, California. We think. Well, I'll definitely be there for a con towards the end of the summer. That's August 28th, 29th, I think. But that's about it. The con going has slowed down for me. But Chris and Chrissy are going to be in San Diego in a couple weeks. Chris just put out a new coloring book, adult coloring book, that I think he's debuting at the show, which is pretty awesome. And they'll both have new prints and all that stuff. Oh, you should definitely come out, Kyle. That'd be awesome. Never been out there, so I heard it's really hot in August. That's about all I know about the show so far. No San Diego for me. They don't let me in that show. I'm half joking, but but also serious. Haven't been able to get in. But I actually just finished. Thanks. Victory Condition Gaming. Whatever your name is. Well, just finished Mark of Kings #1. That came out in June. With an independent company called Entity I. And just talked to them last week, and issue 2 is getting underway in a couple weeks, actually. And I'm back on doing that. also just finished a couple trading card, sketch card sets for one for Upper Deck for the Captain America 75th anniversary set, and then Star Wars Evolution set, which came out at the beginning of June. Working on a cover for Horseman #3. Horseman is an independent book I did for friends of mine at Wayward Raven. I did the cover for 2. And kind of also working on a movie pitch for them, which probably will never see the light of day, but why? Why what, Kevin? That's a funny angle I just chose. I don't know that they would respond to you. If you could hook me up with the ROM series, I'd be really happy about that. That was some of the more exciting news in comics, I think, this year. That ROM is coming back, or is back. Yeah, I saw the crossover universe thing with G.I. Joe and Micronauts and Mask. I'd like to see it work in the comics before they try it in the movies. Although it's still all exciting. I don't know. I want to see it done justice. I feel like Michael Bay should not be involved in it. I have not even bothered to watch Apocalypse. I promised myself that I would not give any more money to Bryan Singer. And so far, I've kept my word. I also heard it was garbage. I know I would have been tempted if somebody said it was, like the best film ever. Chris usually fills me in on all that stuff anyway. So I'll know whether or not I made the right decision. If I could work on any property, I mean, Star Wars. Without a doubt. That kind of feels like cheating, though. Comic property would probably be X-Men. Yes, Chris, I like sports. I mean, Vic. I particularly love softball. I'll be honest, I don't get the whole Pokemon Go thing, but I might be too old for it, I guess. All the sketch cards were in color. Do I like shoes? Hate shoes. Yeah, all of the Star Wars sketch cards were done in ink and Copic marker. All of the Captain America cards were done in watercolor. Can you share how many you did? For the Star Wars cards? I think there were 10. Well, there were 100 cards total, but it was 10 drawings that you have to repeat 10 times. So there's 10 that are nearly identical pieces. Vic, were you happy about the yeah, the Captain America ones? It was 50 original individualized pieces. So it's 50 different watercolor pieces, all characters, you know, related to Captain America. I don't know, 3 or 4. How about them Knicks, Vic? I don't know about that in terms of how quickly. They give you a lot of time on them. I mean, their lead time is usually a couple months out, so there's plenty of time to plan if you're good with time, which I'm not always good with, but haven't missed any of those yet. Captain America sucks. He's not everybody's favorite. Of course you're a Golden State Warriors fan. Any sketch card puzzles? I could have done puzzles for the Captain America set, but was not interested in that. Vic, you're happy about Kevin Durant going to Golden State? There we go. think they called my style lazy. I don't know what they call my style. No, I've never heard of David Wong. Could you tell me some of the pieces that he's done? I'm not super familiar with him. Really? What kind of conventions? All kinds? Is he the one that's really big into Nightmare Before Christmas mashups and Invader Zim mashups? All right, we're gonna let Storm dry a little bit. Traditional. I've heard he's a very nice guy. He does a lot of work with highlighter pens. Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about. This David Wong guy. I'm gonna do Spider-Man next. There's a local show that I do around Christmas time. I usually book 3 years in advance for that one. Vic, I hear you're really into the Pokemon Go's. That's all the rage. Am I looking forward to it? I don't know. Didn't they already start? They had that really terrible Aaron Eckhart Frankenstein movie. I didn't see the I haven't seen the Dracula movie with Luke Evans yet. The girl from the new Star Trek movie. Oh, the one with all the white makeup? That's gross. His homemade soup from the very first movie. Movie from the 70s? Oh. The Tobey Maguire movie. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I do not play board games. I mean, I play like Monopoly and stuff like that, but I don't play gaming board games. Oh, that's not right. I'm also pretty good at Parcheesi. the appropriate answer. I mean, every once in a while, I'll pick up a couple issues of something just to see what it's all about, but I don't read anything regularly. It's the light. Mind your business, Kyle. I don't think anybody would want these hands to hand model. Would it now? Which anime characters would you like me to draw, Vic? Anything? What are your favorite animes? I actually never did. I liked it when I first watched it. I've never read it. Actually, did that movie ever come out? Man, Vic, you watch a lot of anime. Deadpool. Oh, I love Deadpool. Deadpool was awesome. Deadpool was very well done. What TV shows? Just finished. Game of Thrones. I'll watch. Peaky Blinders. Just finished season 3 of that. Voltron, the new Voltron series on Netflix. Yeah, the Walking Dead cards, that was a long time ago. 3 years ago, I think? 4 years ago? Was not happy with those cards. That was I think that was the first real sketch card set I had done. Real in terms of a big property. Take it easy, Kyle. Enjoy the show. I like Voltron so far. I loved Voltron growing up, so I'm not really. I'm definitely biased. I love that Murray from Flight of the Conchords does the voice of the. I forget his name now. Like the princess's butler or whatever he is. Aren't they remaking Mask? Wait, Mask like the Eric Stoltz movie? Or Mask the cartoon? Because it'd be awesome if they remade the Eric Stoltz movie. Yeah, exactly. The Eric Stoltz movie. I'm using this. It's not even called a pencil. I think it's called a lead holder. I'm using a Pentel brush, ink brush pen, and water and a brush. The movie's messed up. Sam Elliott's in that movie too, right? I don't know anything about it actually. My wife watches it, but she watches it without me. Is the girl from what was that show? The '70s show still in it? Donna. Control one thing for the rest of your life. What or who would it be? I think Vic could probably answer this question. Oh, really? See you later, Vic. Enjoy all that anime, buddy. Like, I've never watched any of those movies. I can't bring myself to watch that. No, I don't. I can't bring myself to watch that stuff. Not like I'm too good for it or anything. I mean, I watch some pretty terrible stuff, but they're pretty bad, like you just said. So, are you into Pokemon Go and all that stuff? weirdest request. Oh, that's actually a pretty easy one. I had a guy once that commissioned, and it was a long time ago, before I knew any better, and I agreed to draw it. It was, what did he want? He wanted, what's his name? John Mayer, the singer, in the throne, in space, sitting over the earth, like with the words, waiting on the world to change below it. That was pretty funny. I drew the thing, but it really did not look like John Mayer. It kind of looked like David Boreanaz a little bit. That's probably the strangest one I've ever had. But, you know, there's people have wanted sexual stuff before. I always turn that stuff down. The Pokemon stuff just freaks me out. Just because of the private information gathering and all that stuff. Yours is definitely a one of one. I had a lot of fun with that piece too. Was that a couple Halloweens ago? Although I did have Swamp Thing last night, which I don't know if you were here for that or not. Swamp Thing and Man Thing, obviously, I know are not the same thing, but I'm sure he'll listen to everything that you have to say, respectfully. Actually, he seems like a decent guy. That doesn't mean he would listen to you, but he seems like a decent guy. eventually. Is that how it works? I've heard that before from other people. It tends not to work that way. I actually did like the Spider-Man in Civil War. I mean, it's probably no surprise. I know by now I'm definitely more of a Marvel guy than I am a DC guy. Not that I'm strongly in one camp or the other. I just grew up reading Marvel stuff, so that's kind of where my loyalties lie. Spider-Man was never a huge... I mean, everybody loves Spider-Man the way that everybody loves, Superman. Like, you just... Not necessarily a fan of Superman, but who doesn't like Superman? But I thought that the Civil War Spider-Man was the truest... I thought it was a very true rendition. Besides the Marissa Tomei stuff. I just mean the way that the character acts. I don't know. I thought it worked. I thought it portrayed that kind of like young drunk love. Relationship he had with Tony in the comic books for Civil War. I don't know. I thought it was good. I liked it. How about you? I mean, I watched the thing with Spider-Man is the movie studios kind of look at him and they're like, oh, it's instant money. But a guy that cracks his whole shtick is kind of cracking jokes and acting like a teenager, dressed in a red spider suit. That's not an easy sell in a 2-hour format. I don't think so. I think he works a lot better as comedy relief. But we'll see. They're making the movie. We'll see if he can carry the movie on his own. Batman vs Superman. My thoughts on Batman vs Superman are that I don't think it was as bad as the internet made it out to be. But I think people that are in love with it are delusional DC fans that I don't know. Are not being fair. To say that that's a good movie or a strong movie, I think is not the case. But not nearly as bad as everybody made it out to be. There were definitely some parts that made me scratch my head. Here's the thing. Yeah, I thought it was bad, and there were parts that were ridiculous. But was it the worst comic book movie I ever saw? No, not even close. Was it terrible storytelling? Yeah, it wasn't good. Although I keep hearing the new version they just released with all the deleted scenes kind of is a little bit more solid storytelling wise. But, you know, who knows? No, it wasn't Sharknado. Even though I haven't seen it, so I don't know how bad it is. It was not Sharknado. I mean, the biggest weakness with that movie is the whole, to me at least, is the whole. I have no problem with, you know, changing a character. You know, people complain, well, Batman was too vicious or Superman was too weak. Like, I don't have a problem portraying a character differently. Everybody's entitled to that. What I thought was nonsensical was the whole idea of the name of the mother having a character go from instant rage to instant friend. That to me was just ridiculous. That was the biggest problem I had with that movie. It was the whole Martha thing. Alright, we're gonna let Spider-Man dry a little bit. We'll do one more, and then we'll call it a night. Wonder Woman I thought was really good. I thought she did a good job. Acting wise, I thought the pacing in her scenes and the action sequence with her was great. She was very good. But Diana Prince sending like highly confidential files to Bruce Wayne over Gmail is a little bit silly too, though. We'll see. Chris Pine is in it, which is scary because I don't know. It's Chris Pine. I'm not sure if Sam is on right now. Promised a Silver Surfer, but I kind of want to know if he's on here to watch it or not. Sam, if you're on here, speak up. All right. You know what? I didn't do Massive Con. Chris and this year. No, I did it last year. Chris and Chrissy did it this year. It was not a. I don't know how to say that politely. It was not a fantastic show. Money wise last year. Like, it was fun. Went up there with my wife and kids, and so from that perspective it was a good time and all that, but it was not summertime's pretty busy. Both my girls are heavily involved in softball, which kind of rules the weekends, so it was not such a good show that it was worth me taking a weekend off, put it that way. Or I should say missing a weekend. It's too bad. It's a good in between. I just think it's I'm not feeling the Silver Surfer right now. I'm doing something else. It's a good in between for, what am I trying to say, Boston Comic Con, but it's only 2 months in between or 3 months in between. I feel like that would be a decent winter show, to be honest with you. But then you've got shows like what's that one? Super Mega Fest. When is the one in Burlington this year? Because my family lives up there. Not in Burlington, but close to Burlington. Yeah, I know. No, I know it's in Burlington. Do you know when it is? Oh, that's the same weekend as Palm Springs, unfortunately. Thank you for looking that up, though. Alright, I'm doing a Squirrel Girl right now. A comic book I've never read, and I kinda don't get. But she seems like a pretty fun character. Fun-loving, I guess, is the word. Well, I kind of figured that, you know. She seems a little thicker, not your standard form, body type as, you know, a lot of comic book female characters, and got the buck teeth and kind of all that, which is a great message. You know, I have 2 daughters too, so. So I definitely see the value in that. Well, it's important to dream big, that's for sure. It looks a little too. sometimes it can be difficult drawing characters you're not super familiar with. Like drawing a face is easy, but I don't know. You don't always capture the character that way. You know, I've heard great things about it. I haven't gotten a chance to see it yet. The girls want to see it, so we'll definitely be seeing it at some point. It's all about finding the time. Good luck with that. They don't pay many. They don't. Disney doesn't really use. I think they only have one traditional animator left on their staff. I mean, merchandising is another thing entirely, but that's not really their racket anymore. When does it come out? Alright, what about Ghostbusters? Is my life ruined? Is that the question? Listen, I'm not going to stop you. Yeah, I think it does. I think I saw something on Twitter today, somebody going to see it, but then I realized they were in the UK. I forget they get movies early sometimes. Do I like the direction of the all-female cast? That's a tough question. I don't. Wouldn't stop me from seeing it, especially because my oldest daughter wants to see it. It's catch-22. Like, it's one of those things. If you have daughters, then you see the value. You see some value in it. My 13-year-old definitely sees value in it. Being a little more cynical than her and not a female, it seems a little silly, I guess is the word. Oh, I'm sure it'll be a fine movie. I mean, everything is a franchise these days. Everybody wants to make more than one, so it's in their best interest, whether it's all female or not, to make it as good as possible. The idea that you're proving that women can do anything by only putting women in a movie seems short-sighted and misguided to me. But then again, I'm not a little girl who could look up to that. So I think I kind of, I don't think my opinion matters all that much. I think my 13-year-old would have wanted to see it otherwise, but there's definitely a different... I mean, she's coming to all the midnight showings now for all the comic book movies, so she's not only seeing it because she's a girl, but it definitely, I think, makes her interested more. No. I think I think they're two separate movies. I think Ben Affleck was, or his portrayal of Batman, regardless of the writing and how willing to murder everybody he was, I thought he did the best job in that movie next to Wonder Woman. So I was actually really excited about that Batman. So I think a standalone movie will be great. I think him in Suicide Squad will be great. Suicide Squad is just such a good idea for a movie at this time. I think bad guys becoming good guys, but not really. Everybody loves a dark movie, and this time it's not going to be forced. I'm not sure about Rogue One. I'm excited about it, but I'm being cautiously optimistic, to put it that way. when they announced that they were doing all reshoots and all that stuff, it made me a little nervous, to be honest. No, I know, and I know that, and they do reshoots on many movies. I think that's just kind of part of the nature of the beast at this point. I thought the trailer was really good. And the casting is strange. You've got a martial arts film kind of master or guru who, are not known for being the strongest actors in like a Western acting sense. You got Forrest Whitaker, who is I don't know, a weird choice. I'm just saying it could be excellent, and I hope it is. And visually, I mean, that whole scene with the AT-ATs walking through the river and the rebel, like, that part was amazing. I don't want to be disappointed. Like, anytime Forrest Whitaker is like a huge part of your film, it makes you scratch your head a little bit. Like, you're not expecting that to be like a very great film. Tomorrow we got to get this camera a little closer to the paper. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But then on the other hand, the woman they cast to play Mon Mothma looks ridiculous. I mean, who knows if she can act, but she looks exactly like her. It's crazy. All right. So this thing's got to dry. I'm losing my voice. She's almost done. When I come back on tomorrow morning, this will be done and finished. I'll post them. And then gonna draw at noon tomorrow, and then at 10 o'clock again. Have a good night. Apologies for the yawn. Thanks for chatting and hanging out. See you later.